It's a bit dicey. Why I said so because on the one part, I understand the concern of Israel. Israel's concern when uh, with respect to Iran having nuclear weapons. If you have an enemy next door who have openly uh, said it's going to destroy you and have for 40 years plus armed terrorist organization, Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, and countless Islamic militias in Syria and Iraq to attack you. I understand Israel's worry, and yeah, more so I understand their worry when it comes to both Iran having nuclear weapons and the need for wanting to have a regime change in Iran. However, when it comes to the issue of regime change, I think that becomes a bit more delicate. Reason being that the dynamics required to have a regime change in a volatile society such as Iran is a very delicate dynamics. And if you don't get it right, you end up plunging that society into a massive humanitarian crisis. So we would end up with another Libya or Afghanistan or Iraq, for instance. So the delicate is very delicate. The balance, the dynamics is a very delicate one for a regime change. And it even becomes more delicate when an external force is the one compelling that regime change to happen. So while I understand Israel's need for Iran, Israel's fear for Iran having nuclear weapons, and I understand Israel's need and desire for wanting a regime change, I don't support influencing a regime change by an external force in a society because you just end up creating a huge humanitarian crisis in that society. So I think that the approach has to be very, very delicate. Do I support a regime change in Iran? I think it is needful. The Iranian regime, the regime of the Islamic Republic of Iran, has is too rash, and then for our current civilization, the regime is a threat to civilization as we know it. You don't have a government of a country like Iran with close to 90 million people shouting on daily basis for the past 40 years, death to Israel, death to the West, death to America, curse on the Jews. You don't have when you have a government like that, a government that is a known sponsor, the largest known state sponsor of terror organizations. That government is a threat, not just to Israel, it's a threat to global civilization. And I think a regime change is very apt. And there have been voices within Iran, a whole lot of persons, women, whole lot of interest group within Iran that have been protesting the regime's oppression on the Iranian people from within. I think that the best approach will be to find, to support from within and not impose that regime change from without, so that we don't end up with a human catastrophe in the republic.